Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. We are over here in the third and final mission in the trifecta of desert bonus missions. Or desert missions. We have the Dunes of Despair. This is the hardest and the longest one if I remember correctly. The barren desert landscape here is broken only by tall and surprisingly urban-like ruin that marks people's failed attempts of ascension. Which is what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to ascend. Made of wood from the ships that brought them to the desert shores and bricks of sand and mud, the structures have withstood the harsh desert weather surprisingly well. The people who built them unfortunately did not. So I don't know if these are structures from the... it says from the ships, so I think this is from the people who used to live here long before the Elonians tried to get here. Or tried to go through here. Ghostly hero boy. Once my people came to the desert to build a great temple, but then when we labored, we were set up by stewards of the desert, the Forgotten. They killed my people, and now another ghost sits upon my throne, and I beseech you, help me return to the temple, help me reclaim my throne and my passage into the Hall of Heroes. The Hall of Heroes is like the afterlife. The Hall of Heroes is actually also a name of one of the PvP modes, and interestingly enough, it is like all of these, you know, training missions are the ones that eventually become like the PvP modes in the Hall of Heroes. So that's some good continuity for you. I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to mute from now on. I am getting a little bit of a cold, so if there's a little bit of a break in the videos, that would be why, but probably not. I will try to keep on going, but I apologize for any sick noises you may hear in the recording. What's interesting actually about this ghostly hero, I don't know if you see that, but he has a bow and a sword. Which is interesting because most, if not all enemies, only use one weapon. Despite, like the players, you could switch weapons anytime, including in combat. If you really wanted to, you could literally play with your inventory open, put a sword on, use a sword skill, put a dagger on, use a dagger skill, put a hammer on, use a hammer skill. And there even used to be some builds in PvP kind of like that. There used to be like a, I forget if it was a hammer assassin or if it was a dagger warrior skill that also used some hammer skills. But you would use like dagger skills to trigger knockdowns, or you would trigger, yeah, I think you would use dagger skills to trigger knockdowns, and then, ooh, more big sandworms. And then you would use the warrior hammer skills that benefited from knockdowns. Either that or it's the other way around, and you would use the hammer to knock down, and then the dagger skills that benefit from being knocked down. But that's one of the cool things you could do in this game, because you can swap weapons as much as you want. Big massive siege worms. This is definitely like the most built up place I would say in the desert, or at least that I remember. Like there's actually quite a bit of structures here. Alright, let's make sure we're killing off these siege worms. Just because I don't want to be shot at the entire freaking mission. What's over there? Stormkin. What are Stormkin? I don't think I've ever been over there. Like, ever. Oh, they're just some of the floating jellyfish. Okay, that must be air elementalist versions of the jellyfish. What's back there? It's not the bonus. The bonus is over this way. Huh. That's weird. I wonder what's back there. You know what? Let's go look. Might as well, right? That's the point of this series, to show off the game and show off parts of the game that I may have never been to, so let's go see what on earth is back here in this out-of-the-way path. Okay, they're called Stormkin, but they're Mesmer's not. Yeah, they're Mesmer's not freaking, Airellies. My immersion is ruined and then so is my day. Oh, it looks like there's literally nothing back here. Yeah, there's literally nothing back here besides the Stormkin. Oh, it looks like it's another way around. Okay, so you could have taken that way to avoid the siege worms. Oh, that makes sense. Ah, that's pretty cool. So there's a way around the siege worms if you were having trouble with the siege worms while you were fighting the centaurs. Pretty schnifty. I don't know why that dune lizard is aggro, but it's gonna die. Here's the worm. Just kill this thing. Just because. There's like a little monument looking thing over there. The last mission had like a lot of those huge bones in it, of those ancient giants or ancient titans from long ago. And this one has more of the stuff that the people who used to live here left. Again, we have a Mesmer boss here. Just like the other missions, this mission has one elite, or one boss of each profession. Of each of the 6 main professions, so that players would have their chance to cap their first elite skills here. Elite skill capping in this game, it's pretty fun. Alright, we'll go over this. Talk about Lair.
Up ahead, inside the Temple of Ascension, is the throne of Palantir. The gods gaze down from the Hall of Heroes, granting their favor to those who control the throne. But there is another spirit who sits upon that hallowed throne. The temple is well guarded. Get me inside, so that we may supplant the usurper. He must be destroyed before I can retake the throne.
Man, those things are creepy.
Keep me safe while I cast the ritual to open the door.
But anyway, as I was saying, this game has a lot of skills and a lot of elite skills as well. Like, tons. Tons. Like, probably somewhere near 50 to 60 elite skills per class. But because you have to cap them from bosses, they're one of those things that they're very out of the way, generally. There's a couple that are generally along the relatively critical path, but a lot of them are out of the way, or may even require you to multi-load a zone. Like, load the zone once, play through it, see if that boss spawns. If he doesn't spawn, you might have to play through it again to try to get the elite skill you want, especially in Prophecies. Prophecies did that mechanic a couple times. A lot more than the other ones. But because of that, it's kind of a give and take, because on one hand, that means that, like, the elite skills, they all feel pretty different, and it's kind of a cool thing when you see a new elite skill. But it does mean that once you find a good one, or once you know what you're doing and you know where the good ones are, you tend to not search out the other ones, because they could be pretty annoying to actually get to. And that's my kind of, like, problem with them. Alright, let's see if we can... I think we can actually cut around here without aggroing him. No, we can't. I think you can run around and pre-kill some of the mobs around here, but I don't think you can actually know anything about it. Alright. Hold out while the ghostly hero performs his ritual. Yeah, so now these ladders fall and it opens up the different, things. And like the, you can, if you're fast, go out here and like The bonus is to go to the different camps that are out here and actually kill the like bosses in the different camps. But if you do that, then the ghostly hero has a pretty high chance of dying. So it's one of those things where oftentimes you just have to leave 1 or 2 people with the ghostly hero, and then only take 2 or 3 people out to the zones to go and kill the bosses, which can be quite hard, especially in hard mode. Because even though only a couple of these Forgotten come at once, they do a lot of damage. Even in normal mode. And like hard mode, these guys would do, you know, whatever it is, like 50% more damage or something crazy. Oh, we're full in inventory. Shame for the episode. Whatever that. But this is the basic premise now. We're just going to be defending from the Forgotten. I think sandworms actually spawn around as we're here. Yeah, this game has a lot of unique elites and a lot of unique builds you can make, but a lot of them are not really going to get much use because, well, it's just annoying to have to go out and cap all the skills, among other things, among having to reset all your party, sometimes your entire party up around a theme. So that's why, like, I think I've used maybe, like, I don't know, at least seriously more than like once or twice. I've maybe only used somewhere in the realm of like 30 of the elite skills out of the like maybe 1,000 elite skills that exist across all the classes. Some classes have it worse than others. Some classes have like 5 or 6 pretty alright ones. And some classes like the Mesmer, or like, not like Mesmer is actually a couple, but some classes like Assassin and stuff really only have like 1 or 2 good ones. The rest of them are all kind of meh. We'll see more of the Assassin skills because I will be, I'm actually going to play my Assassin in like the post-game series. So when we're doing the Guild Wars Beyond, after we finish the last campaign, I'm going to be playing my Assassin to show off that stuff just because... if I ever do the Guam series, I'm going to do it on the Assassin, so I might as well. I don't know if I want to do Guam, though. Guam would be a lot of stuff that wouldn't be super fun to watch, to be completely honest with you. Maybe I could do that on stream. I don't know. We'll think about it. Oh, another side note, totally unrelated, but there's this new MMO coming out sometime this year called Throne of Liberty, which looks super interesting, and me and some friends are 100% going to be playing it. We're going to be streaming it and making videos on it, so I know there's probably ridiculously small overlap of the people who care about that and are watching this, but for anybody who is, you'll look forward to that. It's like a open-worldy PvP Korean MMO. It actually reminds me a lot of like Ashes of Creation, which is another game that's coming out in the pretty far future that I'm interested in. But outside of like the node system, which some people would say is the main like draw of Ashes, which they aren't necessarily wrong, but outside of that, it's got a lot of similar like aspects to it, man. It's like an open worldy PvP-ish focused thing. All the dungeons and stuff are in the open world. Part of the thing that looks cool about it has grappling hooks, and it also does like the New World thing, where it's like you use different weapons as your set of classes. So that's pretty cool. Help this custodian. But yeah, one of my goals for this series is eventually, as we get to farther in, especially in the Eye of the North and Nightfall campaign, one of my goals is to make my own Mesmer build. So take an elite that I've had interest in for a long time, but I'm pretty sure very few people have ever actually seriously used in a build, and try to make a good build with it. That's my goal. That's gonna be it's an inspiration elite. It's pretty cool. No one ever uses inspiration either. Really. People use like 1 or 2 skills from it, but they rarely do an inspiration main focused build. So I think that'll be fun. And that'll be a good way for me to show off kind of the build craft in the game. I was a little worried with this campaign, which is why I went for pretty much a more generic domination Mesmer build. Just because this campaign can be a little, like, rough. At least compared to the other ones. I find the other ones to be, I say easier, but like, it's weird because on one hand, the other campaigns are harder because they generally throw more enemies at you and they have better like designs, kind of. But they had like, they generally have a lot of rougher builds, I find, on the Prophecies ones. So I don't know. Also, I figured it'd be because during this one I'd actually be leveling up still, and I'd be getting everybody else leveled up, everybody else in the squad leveled up, that I wouldn't want to be messing around with me myself having a weaker build. But yeah, that's gonna be. I might do side episodes on that, actually talking through the build craft, or I might actually just make it an episode of the Let's Play. I'll probably just make it an episode of the Let's Play. I will probably do that going into like the middle part of factions, after we get off the tutorial island on the factions character. There's a siege worm. I'm just waiting for stuff to pop up. But yeah, they do give you a lot of time to actually go out to the camps and kill off the dudes, especially if you're clearing as they spawn, and especially also if you're listening to the ghostly hero, because they'll tell you whatever guys are coming up. But I'm always like super cautious of it personally. It always bugs me out, so I always feel like I have to stand right next to him, or else he's gonna die. Yeah, this has been a little easy. That I remember this. I remember this mission giving me a lot more trouble. Like, I remember, especially when I was younger, this is the mission I would wipe on quite a bit. But the heroes and, like, kind of actually knowing what I'm doing tends to help a lot, it appears. A lot standing around. They do give you plenty of time to go out there. I guess I'm just remembering incorrectly from my childhood. Or again, it's one of those things where it's like, because I kill stuff so much faster now than I used to. Where's this boss? Just some more giant remains. Yeah, so like that's where the camp is. You have to go like past those guys. I think the other one has a similar thing. So yeah, I guess they do give you plenty of time. I really like this this architecture. This is like the first like city that we see in the desert, like the first actual city. A lot of nothing going on. Is there gonna be one final rush, or is that literally it? That was literally it. I swear they've changed this mission. I swear that they used to be relentless. I must just be remembering this mission wrong. It's cold here. I should have brought my cloak. We're in a desert. We're literally in a desert. Okay.
We have drawn the attention of the gods. Let us hope they are pleased.
All right. Here we are, back in where is it? There we go. Alright. So I'll make it a little bit of a weird build and you'll see why in a second. So now we can go to Augury Rock. And now that we have our infusion, or we've done all 3 missions, we can actually get access to Augury Rock. This is definitely one of the more, this is probably the most unique mission in Prophecies right now. This one that we're in right now. There's one of the stones we recovered. So we get our empowerment because we finished all 3 of those missions, and now we can light up these runes and get access. Man, this animation's a little janky. What happens when they have to reseal this place? Some steps appear for us. And go on in. Oh, this architecture that you see inside, you get a little bit of a glimpse of it. This is architecture that's found also in the Hall of Heroes, so I think this is like the afterlife style architecture. It's pretty cool. It's unique from the rest of the game. And who's that? Oh, they have a tormented spear. That's a weapon from the 3rd game. They must have changed the model at some point. That's a weapon from Factions. A weapon that people wouldn't even know existed at this point. Alright, and here's why I brought these specific skills, because we have to fight a version of ourselves, the doppelganger, and they use the exact same skills you use. So the way you beat this is by running stuff like empathy that I have here, and then just bringing a skill to keep yourself alive, but that the enemy isn't going to use the heal. It's super easy. That's all it took. You've now earned the favor of the gods.
Reach out and take hold of your destiny. Your ascendance is now complete.
Alright, I'm going through a portal. Where are we now? The Dragon's Lair. So we're going to be meeting the individual whose weird voice we've been hearing this whole time. This is definitely one of the most interesting missions in this campaign. We are at the Dragon's Lair. The great dragon prophet Glint, who is the person we've been hearing, is not easy to find, for he uses powerful magics to make her lair inside a single crystalline grain of sand. A person could search 100 lifetimes and never find the exact grain. The only true entrance is through the portal beyond the challenges of Augury Rock. So that's basically why we did all this. We didn't know why we were doing all this, but we're in Glint's lair now. Was I forgotten? Do not fear me, human. I'll bring you no harm here. On the threshold of the dragon's lair. Tell me what I'm doing here. The great dragon Glint eagerly awaits your presence. She has been expecting you. She has? Yes, she is an oracle, a powerful master of many things. She has seen many things, known of your arrival, knows that only those who overcome great adversities can accomplish great things. Only the ascendants who make it through her defenses can speak to her face to face. What must I do? Simply find your way to the great dragon, survive the test inside, and prove yourself worthy of meeting with Glint. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to meet with Glint because something shining blade, white mantle. I don't know. This is the one thing about this campaign is that despite it kind of having an overarching story, you kind of get a little lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? Like You know, we started off as, okay, we're in Ascalon. Okay, we're running out of Ascalon now because it's really hella messed up. We're following Rurik over the Shiver Peaks. Okay, we're good. Rurik gets iced. Okay, we're good. We get to Kryta. We're like, okay, what can we do to help? We join the White Mantle. What happens to the White Mantle? Oh, we figure out where we're chasing the Shining Blade through the jungle. Oh, wait a minute, the White Mantle are the bad guys. Now we're helping the Shining Blade. Now we're trying to get ascended in the desert. Now we're talking to the Dragon Prophet. Like, the White Mantle are the bad guys throughout the rest of the story, but it definitely feels weird. Here's another outpost. This is the Tomb of Primeval Kings. This is a place that people used to farm all the time for money way back in the day. This uses some architecture, actually. This is one of the places that's had an update since new campaigns have come out, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a run around and show you what's here. This is like, for lack of a better term, this is like the PvE version of the PvP minigame. Here's the ghostly hero. There's Zaishan people here from the Zaishan Isles. And they have unique skills and stuff compared to the other heroes we've been using and talking to. So, kind of interesting. It's a little weird side activity that's just randomly out here in the Dragon's Lair, or outside of the Dragon's Lair. But yeah, we're gonna go in next episode and talk to Glint. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming out, and I hope you have a great day.